Chapter 10. Sweet Home Chicago. After a surprise landing in Chicago, you deplane and rush out of the jetway with Jack in tow. How does a mix-up like this even happen? They can spot a water bottle from 50 feet away, but moving people around in the country is as simple as, here's a random plane, bon voyage. As you speed towards the customer service desk, Jack grips your elbow and pulls you aside. What if I told you it wasn't a mix-up? I tell you to say more words, quickly. A flight to Nashville with an overnight layover had 2 open seats, and I couldn't pass up the chance to show you the greatest city on Earth. Jack, we're already on thin ice with Mr. Deacon and Jean. Do you have any idea how much more work this makes for me? You whip out your phone, intending to call in, but as it powers on, he rips it away, holding it above his head as you step closer. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. I'll show you the whole place, give you the Jack Kennedy experience, and we'll be in Nashville tomorrow. You plant a hand in the crook of his elbow and tug, pulling yourself ever closer in your attempt to get the phone back. We don't have a hotel, security, or... You make the mistake of turning your head and find yourself staring directly into his eyes, your face inches apart. Please. At the genuine look of excitement on his face, your protests melt on your tongue, and the butterflies in your stomach take flight. Fine. Stop looking at me with the begging puppy dog eyes. You start to push away, but he catches your waist and pulls you back in with a mischievous smile. And if I don't? You let him guide you closer, your lips dangerously close to brushing. If you don't, I'll have no choice but to give you something to beg for, and I won't hold back. Oh, you won't have to. In fact, I volunteer as tribute. With a sly smile, you break away, ignoring the slickness between your legs and the delicious tension in your belly. At least put on the disguise. Lennon is a lot less likely to get chased down the street than Jack Kennedy. Fine. He slips on the sunglasses and scarf, blending into the crowd before turning to you with raised eyebrows. Can we go now? The city awaits. Don't let me stand in your way. Jack leads you towards the subway in the basement, his enthusiasm growing with every step. You're gonna love Chicago. There's always something happening, and I've got a million things I want you to see. Just so long as we can squeeze in time to say hi to your parents. I need pointers on how to handle the living, breathing mess they made. Yeah, I don't think we'll have time for that. His excitement cools almost immediately, and though you feel like you've clearly said something wrong, you can't help but forge ahead. Won't they be hurt if they find out we were in town and didn't stop by? I mean, if I did that to my family... It's just my mom, and she's not like your family. Your family is an actual family. Mine is not. He stares down the empty tunnel to avoid your gaze. You tuck a thin finger under his chin, turning him back to face you. Hey, my family isn't perfect either. No family is sunshine and rainbows all the time. What do you guys just not get along? No, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen her in years. I don't even know what we'd talk about. The weather. He huffs a sigh and you slip your hand in his, giving it a squeeze. I'd be there as a buffer. How bad could it be? You haven't met my mother. Fine, but we've got a few stops to make first. He hurriedly pulls you off at the next stop and you look around the station, surprised to see the various performers amidst the passengers waiting for their trains. This is where I got my start. My friends and I performed here back when we were desperate for anyone to listen. It's genius. People from all walks of life come through here. You never know who may be watching. I was one of the lucky ones. We played because we loved the music, but a lot of these performers are busking for their next meal. The sound of drumming catches your attention, and you and Jack gravitate toward the man expertly drumming on a series of buckets of varying sizes. He's really good. Without hesitation, you drop a 20 in the man's hat, and his face lights up with a grin. Thank you. Nobody stopped all morning. That's too bad. If nobody's stopping to appreciate you, they're missing out. Mind if we try to drum up an audience for you? What did you have in mind? I should go live on Pictogram. Bigger audience. You pull up the phone and bring up the Pictogram app. My friend here has quite the following. If you'd like, we could post you on his account and maybe even get some donations for your Flash app. Why not? The man tells you his Flash app, then launches into an upbeat rhythm. You cue up a video of Jack's Picta, turning the camera on the man and his drums. Immediately see the comments and the Flash app donations start rolling in from all over. As the beat goes on, Jack takes you by the hand and pulls you in close. I gotta say, you never fail to impress me. Your ingenuity, your generosity, the way you make things happen, it's very attractive. You press yourself into the warmth of his body, reveling in his gaze as he sees you. Really sees you. How attractive are we talking? I could show you better than I could tell you. His warm gaze turns heated, and the smile playing in his lips is suggestive until a voice suddenly breaks the moment. I know that face anywhere. Jack! Little Jack Kennedy? Jack turns to find an elderly woman with a saxophone, and immediately his face lights up. Hi, Miss Green. I haven't seen you since you went to Hollywood to become a big star. I'm so proud of you. Who's your friend? Miss Green, this is Estrella Villanueva. She's my, The one's eyebrows shoot up as his voice trails off. You can't help the flutter that shoots through you as you notice the unspoken communication between them. Just Estrella is fine. Pleased to meet you, Miss Green. The pleasure's all mine, dear. I know Jack's here since he was just a kid with a dream getting into all sorts of trouble. And one of your fellow troublemakers is at the old roller rink. He would love to see you. Oh, I don't know. You heard the lady, Jack, and you wouldn't dare deprive me of a one-of-a-kind experience after basically kidnapping me, would you? You raise your eyebrows at him, and in a challenge, he sighs, fighting back a smirk. Fine, fine. Next stop, the roller rink. You catch the next train to the roller rink, and you've barely finished lacing up your skates when Jack takes you by the hand, pulling your heater frame out onto the rink. How are you so good at this? I spent a lot of time here as a kid. It always felt peaceful, plus it lets me show off for pretty girls. He winks and skates literally circles around you, smiling crookedly when he loops back around, skating backward. When do I get to learn that? How about right now? He takes your hand, helping you turn, then reaches for your hips, pulling you in front of him. His words are a rumble as he murmurs in your ear. Now, just follow my movements, like we're one person. You breathe in the scent of him happily and let him lead, moving your hips in time with his to match pace with his strides. Like this? You turn to look at Jack over your shoulder to find his eyes locked on you, his gaze dropping down to your lips. Just like that. His approval boosts your confidence, and as you straighten your spine, Jack pulls you closer, his chest fitting to your back. You tease him with your body, rolling your ass against him until you feel him respond. Carefully, you spin around to face him and wind your arm around the back of his head, leaning in to drop feathery kisses up on his neck. You close your eyes and trust Jack to keep you on track, kissing a line up his jawline, nipping at his earlobe. I need more. You look up into his eyes to see the desire burning there, and overcome, you pull him in for a heated kiss. Only for your skates to get tangled with his, you fall to the floor and his body toppling on top of you. You okay? I think so, but this must be so embarrassing for you. I guess you're not as good at skating as we thought. I can think of something else I'm really good at. He leans in, his mouth finding yours, and you open to him, welcoming him in, when another skater zooms by. Hey, this rink is for skating. Do I need to get the hose or what? Jack looks up, his outrage quickly dissolving into a grin as the skater offers you each a hand to help you up. Jack, only you can spend enough time away from home that you forget how to skate and still manage to show up with a beautiful woman on your arm. Do you two know each other? Estrella, meet Dion, my best friend and former bandmate. Not to mention the proud owner of this classy establishment. Have you treated Estrella to the cafe yet? Nah, we were just, building up an appetite. Oh, you definitely look thirsty, my friend. That's for the first time since you've met him. Jack looks shy, shrugging off an obvious smile as he wipes his mouth with his wrist. Why don't we, get off the rink and have some milkshakes on the house? Gladly. I want to pump you for all the dirty details on our mutual friend here. Pun and innuendo. You skate over to the adjoining cafe, and as Dion scouts out a booth, you give Jack a playful nudge. I can't believe you didn't tell me you two were still close. We'll have to invite him and the rest of the band to your next show. Fans would go nuts for a reunion. At once, Jack comes to a standstill beside you, his smile fading. Tell Dion I'll rain check on the milkshake. I need some air. Wait, Jack. In the distance, he waves you over, having found a booth, but you quickly shake your head and follow after Jack. What the hell just happened? Still, Jack heads for the door until you grab him by the shoulder, forcing him to face you. Jack, are we really playing this game again? Talk to me. I thought we had agreed to trust each other. I do trust you. So then what's the problem? For a moment, he stills, searching your face, and then... The band and I had a falling out, okay? We haven't seen much of each other in years. Dion and I are still close, but the others... How does a tight-knit group go from touring the world together to not even speaking? It doesn't matter. It's in the past, but I've been solo for years, and that's not going to change anytime soon. Jack turns back to the counter, and you're resolved to leave it alone until, across the room, the bells and whistles of an arcade game go off. Your eyes are in on Guitar Champ in the corner, and you got an idea. Tell you what. You, me, arcade challenge. If you win, I'll leave it alone and never ask about the band again. And if I don't? You spill every behind-the-music style detail. He looks over at the arcade before stepping closer and shooting a wry grin. You really think you can beat me in Guitar Champ? You do realize I'm a professional musician, right? Of course, you egomaniacal dummy. Hey, at least it's a sweet scene versus, you know, one of those bout chicka wow wow moments. You lead Jack to the Guitar Jam machine and pump it full of quarters. It's gonna be so satisfying to see the smug pop star lose game after game to a simple civilian. He slowly looks you up and down. I hate to break it to you, I've played venues all over the world. This little arcade game is not gonna be to my downfall. We'll see. You stick a guitar, and as a prompt appears asking you to pick a genre of music, you choose pop. I'll even give you the advantage. Here's a challenge for you. I want you to pick a song that reminds you most of me. In that case, I'm going with something exciting and adventurous. You cue up Jalen Reyes' newest single, Continual Whiplash. A bright pop beat starts up. Ah, God, I have to sing this shit. Hold on! The only time I get to actively sing is Jack is when he's singing. Otherwise, everyone is everyone else, and it's really hard for me. You lift me up, you let me fall, but you're there to catch me through it all. I can't figure you out, but boy, it's fun to try. Ouch. Being with you is like riding a roller coaster. There's ups, downs, highs, lows. His eyes sear into you as his fingers tap along the guitar buttons. There's always going to be lows. What matters is that they're outweighed by the highs, and really doesn't it beat being bored with life. Bored is one thing I've never been with you. Machine counts down, flashing 3, 2, 1. The song begins, and you hit every note like a pro. You look over at Jack's screen to see he's struggling. Oh, so much for being an arcade games aficionado. I'm just getting warmed up, plus this machine is different than the ones I'm used to. As he falls further behind, he reaches over for your guitar, pressing any and every button he can. Hey, that's cheating! Oh, Chicago must have different rules than what you're used to. You slap his arm away, and the song comes to an end. Estrella wins! Flashes on the screen. Yes, I win. Best 2 out of 3, and this time I choose the game. He makes a dash for a row of skee-ball machines, and as he starts a round for each of you, you grip his arm. You can't get off scot-free. I won fair and square. It's time for you to spill. He offers you a ball, and as he works up the nerve to speak, the two of you take turns rolling the heavy ball up your lanes until finally... It was kind of a slow erosion. Typical label drama stuff, first. Gene wanted me to be the front man of the group. The others weren't cool with it, but what could we do? Your ball flies in the gutter, your focus locked on Jack, but he avoids your gaze, staring down the lane as his balls hit the bullseye. The music was good. We were all still famous. It wasn't a big deal. Until it was. What was the final straw? He sinks another one before heaving a sigh, taking his time to line up a shot. Gene tried cutting one of our original members. Angel was not thrilled. His voice trails, returning his focus to the game. He rolls the ball and gets a bullseye, tying the score. How did you... Did I mention I'm really good at skee-ball? Guess the story ends here, huh? You think on your feet and take his final ball from the chute before he can. Not if you can't finish. Yeah, he'd end up getting it, but why not? You look around to make sure the two of you are alone, then stuff the ball down your shirt in between your cleavage. If you think that's gonna stop me, you don't know me at all. He sidles up to you, meeting your eyes, and slowly, intentionally dropping his gaze to your cleavage. Now, where could it be? He searches for the ball, massaging your breast exploratorily. You're on the right track. Oh, is that how this works? We have to be careful, because the N-word, not that one, the one involving your body, is actually not liked by YouTube. Surprise, surprise. Even though we can have yoga on this platform with people with no clothing on it. Don't at me, just go search it. Just as you're forgetting about the game entirely, Jack dips his hand into your cleavage, draws out the skee ball with a victorious smirk. Gotcha. You let out a shaky breath and smile ruefully at him. You are a tease. Oh, and you're a cheater. Takes one to know one. Standing close together, you feel the ghost of his breath on your skin. This time it's your turn to tease, bringing your lips a breath away from his and pulling away. Keep talking. He smiles ruefully and positions himself to roll his final ball. Despite his resounding win, he's serious when he continues. Angel and his brother Alex stopped trusting Gene after that. Then they took it out on me for being Gene's favorite. If they only knew how that affected your relationship with Gene now. Rather than replying, he summons up his trademark carefree smirk and lops his arm with yours, leading you over to Disco Dance Rebellion. Hey, it's my turn to pick the game. If you're afraid you can't match my moves, you can just say that. You roll your eyes and take the platform just as the machine prompts Jack to pick a song. This time I'll choose a song that reminds me of you. An upbeat indie folk song comes on and you bob your head to the wild, driving beat. I don't know this one, but I'm digging it. The song kind of took me by surprise. Much like someone else I know. It's called Leap of Faith. It's about jumping in despite the clear challenges, taking a chance on a wild card, and helping each other find their wings on the other side of the leap. Wow, Jack. Sometimes it's hard to take a leap of faith. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Representing you certainly comes with its fair share of obstacles. Sometimes it's exhausting to maintain the belief that it's gonna work out. The job, your tour, all of it. Well, luckily, thanks to your influence, I've become a team player. I'll help you carry the faith. You're surprised by the rush of tenderness as he steps forward and lifts your chin to look you in your eyes. You zero in on his lips and lean in. When the buzzer goes off, then the game to announce the song is over, and the two of you are startled into breaking apart. Well, I guess we tied in losing that one. You share a laugh, and he puts another couple quarters in the machine. Let's try again. I can't leave without having a clear-cut winner. We already have one. Me. You both retake your places on the platforms, and as you dance, you look over to see him focused on the screen, his profile bathed in the light of the screen. I'm sorry, by the way. Gene may not be entirely wrong, but you don't tell kids they're part of a family one minute, and then kick them out the next. It's not all Gene. When we decided the band was done, Dee came home, but Angel and Alex went on to form a new project without me. Being left to fend for myself after we all were so close, that's what hurt the most. There's no better way to clear the air than to talk to them. You were all a family at one point. That doesn't go away. He sighs, and you expect him to push back, but instead he nods. Maybe you're right. You should invite them to one of the shows, as long as you recognize the champion in your midst. The buzzer goes off, proclaiming Jack the winner. But as he takes a victory lap around the room, you can't help but see how far the two of you have come, and revel in a victory of your own. As the day wears on, evening falls, you and Jack walk through a quaint neighborhood, hand in hand. Oh my god, is this new artwork too? 2 in one day? Jack becomes visibly more tense as you go, until he brings you to a stop in front of a charming 2-story home. Is this my childhood home? Yeah, I did promise you I'd introduce you to my mom. With a half smile, half grimace, Jack unwinds the scarf and takes off the sunglasses. You know, he really needs to let that shiner and his nose heal, I'm serious. Somehow I don't think these will help me get her. But then he takes a deep breath and knocks on the door. A woman swings it open looking like she's seen a ghost. Jack? Hey, Mom. Jack's mom escorts the two of you inside and looks Jack up and down while he shifts awkwardly, avoiding her eyes. Look at you. What happened to your face? All these piercings and tattoos, you're going to keep it up, and there won't be an inch left without a drawing or a hole. Mom, can we not? I just got here. Well, excuse me for noticing my child is a human coloring book. At your interruption, Jack gives you a hand a thankful squeeze, and his mother seems to visibly backpedal, turning to you. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I'm Dell. Estrella. Nice to meet you. The pleasure's all mine. I hardly ever get to meet one of Jack's girlfriends. Mom. He shoots her a pointed look to stop, but though it's clear as day to you, Dell doesn't seem to get it. What? You don't seem to keep any long, and you were so busy with the last one I never met her at all. He watches Jack visibly cringes and quickly take pity on him. Most people don't want their parents to meet their boyfriend. Or girlfriend, for my case. I'm just saying. You know what? Why not? We'll indulge us. I'm glad I could change that. He's very lucky to have me. You give Jack a playful nudge, and he releases the tension in his shoulders with a sigh. So, I'd say so. I bet you're tired. Why did you come with me? You can stay at Jack's room tonight. As she slips away, Jack leans over and whispers in your ear, Still think this was a good idea? You follow Dell into Jack's childhood bedroom, finding her retrieving the sheets for the bed from the closet. This is very generous of you, Miss Kennedy. Please call me Dell. It's the least I can do for the girl who brought my baby back to me. Against his will, clearly. What? No, Jack wanted to see you. He just, You could spare me the act, honey. Jack takes excellent care of me financially, but keeping in touch has never been one of his priorities. Silently, she hands you one of the fitted sheets and you maneuver it over to the end of the mattress. I think it's just awkward for him. He did a lot of his growing up on the road, and the distance during his formative years is just hard to overcome. Yeah, we'll go with that. Damn near impossible, if you ask me. And it's not like I missed it for fun. I had to work. Someone had to finance the early years of this dream. You know, Jack can be hard to connect with, but... If at first you don't succeed, try again, or he needs you. I don't like either of these answers. If at first you don't succeed, the only reason he and I are so close is because I wouldn't let him shut me out. You shouldn't allow it either. I don't want to bother him. You saw how he reacted when he got here. I'm one wrong move away from embarrassing him so much I never see him again. Want to know something? My parents embarrassed me endlessly when I was younger, but now I'm glad they cared. Jack doesn't need you to say the right thing. He just needs you to be in his corner. I agree with that. Together, you and Dell put the finishing touches on the bed, and when you look up, you find her casting a wistful look out to the hallway. I've always been here. I just thought he'd reach out when he was ready. Jack's a stubborn, and he's got a stubborn streak a mile long, so I don't know that he'll ever admit it, but he's ready to let love in. Is that right? She gives you a knowing look and you duck her gaze, feeling warm at the implication. Good night, Estrella, and thank you for being such a good influence on my boy. Later that night, while lying in bed, you hear a noise at the door and turn to find Jack standing at the doorway, dressed for a night on the couch. Enjoying my bed. More than you know. About as much as you love teasing him, you love the thought of him lying next to you more, and you lift the sheets inviting him in. Without hesitation, he climbs in and settles over your body, his elbows on either side of your face, boxing you in as he speaks in a low whisper. Is this what you wanted? The scent of him, the bareness of his skin where he brushes yours is overwhelming, and you find yourself curling around him, drawing him ever closer. This isn't all I want. I want you, Jack. The rest will have to wait. Sorry, Bound Chicka Wow Wow is a no-go on YouTube anymore. This isn't the place for all of my wants. He takes the hint, falling back on the pillow beside you. I'm sure I'll thank you at 5 a.m. when we have to leave for the airport. If you're wondering what we should do in the meantime, maybe you should start by telling me why you never mentioned your mom before today. Silence falls between you, and he shrugs in the darkness. What's there to say? I barely know her. How can you say that? She's your mom. And it seems like she really loves you. I'm not saying I don't love her, Estrella. I'm saying I don't have memories of holidays with her. I pick up the phone to call her, and I don't know what to say. She worked her ass off to give me the life I have, and I'm grateful, but I am. But I'd be lying if I said our relationship wasn't one of sacrifices we made for my career. I don't know how to be close to her. Oh, Jack. It's not too late to fix that. She's thrilled to have you here. She wants to be close with you. I think she just doesn't know how to bridge the gap, or if you even want her to. You got all that from one conversation. What can I say? I have a trustworthy face. People often open up to me. With the blanket, his leg grazes yours, releasing a flutter in your chest. You're not wrong there. You really are something special. For a moment you freeze, your eyes locked in his, then he turns you in his arms and buries his face in your hair. Good night, Estrella Villanueva. Good night, Jack Kennedy. His grip on you holds you steady, and as you sink into his chest, you feel safe, sleepy, and your eyes slowly drifting shut. The next morning dawns quicker than you'd like, sending you and Jack in a flurry to catch your flight. You and Jack bid Dell farewell, gather your things, and race to the airport. But when you finally touch down in Nashville, there's barely enough time to rush through Nashville traffic and get to the stadium where Jack's Jammies rehearsal is taking place. You burst in the rehearsal hall in a frenzy, breathing heavily, only to stop short when you see a surprise guest standing center stage. Veronica? Oh, 6 minutes late to our first rehearsal. What the hell are you doing here? Why do you think I'm here? We have to practice our duet for the Jammies. Duet? This is Jack's performance, a solo performance. Did Jean don't tell you? Jack and I are performing together now. And you can't call Mr. Deacon about this because he'll just go, it's good for business. Okay? You're gonna get up there, you're gonna duet. Okay? The fans will eat it up, and so will the ratings and money. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head in the description, plenty of things to check out, ways to support, and whatnot. Here's all I have to say. Again, if you're sad about the moment that Jack passed, but you're still here in the video, thank you for being here. Again, when it comes to Bounce Check-A-Wow, I try and avoid it because YouTube gets really and then yeah, no, it gets irritating because a lot of videos they're removing and then there's special words you can't say, right? And it gets really tiring and it gets really old. And then you try and fight YouTube to keep those videos, and they just tell you to go screw yourself. You can't re-upload those videos because once you upload them, you can't download them once YouTube deletes them, even though they hold them in their system during the whole process and whatnot. And yeah, it's funny because you know there's been some big creators who have literally and figuratively proven that they hold on to those videos, right? And like they'll appeal like a few months down the road or whatnot, and then they'll get like their manager or whatnot to like be like, hey, look at this video, and you tell me, and then the YouTube will reinstate the video and it exists again. It's magic because they keep it in their database. Like, but they put a lot on us creators to follow these invisible words, invisible guidelines, invisible everything. And then also, I'm not all for the bounce chicka wow wow on the channel, right? I'm all for narrating, reading, writing, all this stuff, and good gameplay and entertaining you guys. But I don't want that to be my legacy as a crappy, content creator who covers this crap. I've always been flavorful in some of the things and letting it slide, but just no. Anyway, so also you're not gonna find it on any other channel. I'm gonna be honest with you, so I don't feel bad about it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.